Yellowstone supervolcano rocked by 97 earthquakes. And there is, of course, the question again, when is it going to erupt? Is it overdue? Well, one geologist says it's not when, it's not if, but when. It will erupt, but we don't know exactly when. Yellowstone volcano and the surrounding areas experiencing more than 90 earthquakes last month amid persistent fears of the supervolcano waiting to, of course, erupt with a super eruption without any due notice. Up to 3,000 earthquakes rock the Yellowstone volcano every year, leading many to falsely believe a disaster is brewing underground. It's located in the northwest part of Wyoming into Montana and Idaho, and Yellowstone has seen three cataclysmic eruptions in the last 2.1 million years. 2.1 million years ago, 1.3 million years ago, 640,000 years ago. These were the last three super eruptions. Although there's no evidence to suggest the supervolcano will erupt again in our lifetime, the latest activity report from the U.S. Geological Survey is unlikely to put minds at ease. According to the monthly activity report published Wednesday, Yellowstone National Park and nearby areas were rocked by a total of 97 earthquakes in the month of August. The figure is steep decline from July's 1,008 tremors, but is in line with the average monthly seismicity. The biggest of the quakes was a magnitude 3.1 event about 12 miles northeast of West Yellowstone, Montana. That took place on August 20th. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. The USGS said although there were some minor ongoing seismicity that continued from the July energetic earthquake swarm beneath Yellowstone Lake, that was in the middle of Yellowstone Lake from what we remember, no swarm activity was observed in August. And we know Yellowstone Lake lies right on top of the, 5 o'clock position over the magma chamber. The lake is right over the magma chamber, the roof of the magma chamber. So that was not good news, knowing that there's earthquakes on top of the magma chamber. Now the good news is Yellowstone earthquake activity has returned back to normal levels, yet social media is rife with unfolding claims and conspiracy theories about Yellowstone's supposed super eruption future. Many people live in with the belief that Yellowstone is overdue for another eruption. Even Professor Michio Kaku of New York. Now, despite no evidence to back these claims, Michio Kaku calls it the sleeping Godzilla under Yellowstone. Now, one Twitter user, for instance, said Monday, thinking about the hundreds of years overdue extinction level events just waiting to happen in North America, the big one, San Andreas, Yellowstone volcano, all of which could be so big, one going off could trigger the others, so they could all be happening around the same time. Well, okay, these people are not geologists, of course, that say these things. Another said, I live with insane anxiety every day knowing that any day could be the last since Yellowstone is thousands of years overdue to erupt. Now, it's not a question of if, it's more a matter of when, and the sooner the better, one geologist says, but none of these fears can be substantiated by geological evidence. According to USGS, Yellowstone is not overdue, and there is no reason to believe it will ever erupt again. I guess he means in our lifetime. Now, and should it erupt in the far future, odds are the eruption will be a hydrothermal eruption and not an explosive volcanic eruption. USGS said this type of small but still explosive eruption can occur from shallow reservoirs of steam or hot water rather than molten rock. These reservoirs are the sources of Yellowstone's famous geysers and hot springs and fumaroles. We know that Yellowstone has over 60% of the world's geysers and over 10,000 hydrothermal areas. Now, such explosions, they said, could blast out shallow craters more than a kilometer wide, as has occurred in northern Yellowstone Lake Basin, including Mary Bay, nearby Turbid Lake, and Indian Pond in the western Yellowstone National Park, north of Old Faithful geyser. August also proved to be quiet for the world-famous Steamboat geyser. Steamboat has not erupted since July 8th, meaning this year's number of eruption remains at 13. USGS said the time between major Steamboat water eruptions is lengthening, which probably indicates that the geyser is entering a period of quiescence, meaning something has changed underneath there in the plumbing of Yellowstone. This is typical behavior for Steamboat, they said, with the geyser experiencing few-year periods of frequent eruptions, separated by years to decades of very few eruptions. But the show is not over yet. Geologists noticed a sequence of minor eruptions in mid to late August, suggesting a proper blast could be brewing there. So this is from the USGS monthly reports by Michael Poland, and this is on Sebastian Ketley, Express UK. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support.